The real and fake heiress. Not everyone who looks rich is powerful. Not everyone who stays quiet is weak. And not every truth is easy to believe. Sometimes, the biggest lies are wrapped in confidence. And sometimes, the real story is hidden behind silence. This story is a reminder that appearances can deceive, and the truth, it always finds a way out. Now take a deep breath and let the story begin. The glass shattered before anyone could react. The sound cut through the room like a warning. All eyes turned. A girl stood in the center of the grand hall, her hand trembling slightly, a broken champagne glass at her feet. "I'm sorry," she said softly. But the silence that followed wasn't about the glass. It was about her. "Who is she?" someone whispered. "I thought she was the heiress." "No, that's not her." Across the room, another girl stood perfectly still, elegant, composed, watching. And in that moment, two girls, one identity, one fortune, and only one of them was telling the truth. A few weeks earlier, no one had heard of Lena. She appeared quietly. No announcement, no grand entrance, just presence. The first time anyone noticed her was at an exclusive event, one only the richest families were invited to. She walked in wearing something simple, not flashy, not loud, but somehow she still stood out. "Do you know her?" a woman asked. "No idea," another replied. But whispers started anyway, because Lena carried herself like she belonged, like she had always belonged. And in rooms like that meant something. "Excuse me," a man approached her politely. "Are you with the Moretti family?" Lena paused, then nodded once. Yes. That was all it took. The name spread like wildfire. The Moretti family. Old money. Untouchable. Private. And most importantly, their heiress had never been seen publicly. Until now. Across the city, in a much louder, brighter environment, Vanessa laughed as cameras flashed around her. "Vanessa, over here. Smile." She turned effortlessly, posing like she had done it her whole life. Because she had. "I heard you're the Moretti heiress?" a reporter asked. Vanessa smiled confidently. "I don't like labels, but yes." The crowd reacted instantly. Phones up, voices rising. Because unlike Lena, Vanessa didn't just look like she belonged. She demanded it. Luxury clothes, luxury friends, luxury life. Everything about her screamed wealth. And people believed her. Why wouldn't they? She looked the part. She played the part. She owned the part. Back at the private event, Lena stood near the balcony, watching quietly. "You're very calm," a voice said behind her. She turned. An older woman studied her carefully. "Most people would be overwhelmed here." Lena gave a small smile. "I've seen worse." The woman raised an eyebrow. "Worse than this?" Lena looked around the room. "I've seen what people become when they think no one is watching." That answer lingered, because it didn't sound rehearsed. It sounded real. Days passed, and something strange began to happen. Two names. Same identity. Two different faces. People started noticing. "Wait, I saw the heiress yesterday. She looked different." "No, that's impossible." "I'm telling you, it wasn't the same girl." Confusion spread. Then curiosity. Then suspicion. Vanessa leaned back in her chair, scrolling through her phone. Her smile faded slightly. "Who is this?" she muttered. Her friend leaned over. "What?" Vanessa turned the screen. A photo. Lena. At another private event. Captioned. "The real Moretti heiress finally steps out?" Vanessa sat up straight. "That's not funny." "You know her?" friend asked. "No." But something in her voice tightened. "Then why do you care?" Vanessa stood up. "Because someone is trying to take what's mine." That night, Lena sat alone, reading quietly. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She stared at it for a moment, then answered. "Hello." Silence. Then, "You're making a mistake." Lena didn't react. "Who is this?" "You know exactly who this is." A pause. Then Lena said calmly, "No, but I can guess." Vanessa's voice sharpened. "Stay away from my name." Lena's eyes didn't move. "It's not yours," she replied. The line went silent. Then, "You have no idea what you're doing," Vanessa said. Lena's voice stayed steady. "I know exactly what I'm doing." "Then stop."
No.
The call ended. The next day, everything escalated. Headlines, speculation, rumors. Two girls claiming the same identity. One loud, one silent, one convincing, one unsettling. Because the quieter Lena stayed, the more people started questioning Vanessa. Why hasn't she shown proof? Why is the other girl so calm? Something feels off. Vanessa noticed. Of course she did. And for the first time, her confidence cracked. "Fix this," she snapped at her assistant. "We're trying, but—"
No.
"Not trying. Fix it." "But what if?" "There is no what if." Her voice echoed through the room, because deep down, she felt it.
Control slipping.
Meanwhile, Lena stood in front of a locked door.
Old.
Heavy.
Hidden.
She reached into her pocket, pulled out a key,
Paused.
then whispered softly, "It's time." The door creaked open. Inside, the truth waited. If you're still watching, this is where everything changes. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, because the truth behind the story, you won't see it coming. Vanessa didn't wait. She went public. Press conference. Cameras everywhere. "I've been patient," she said confidently. "But it's time to clear things up." The room went quiet. There is no confusion. I am the only Moretti heiress.
Flash. Flash. Flash.
And anyone claiming otherwise is lying.
Strong. Direct.
Convincing. But across the city, Lena watched it live. And for the first time, she smiled. Not out of arrogance, but because Vanessa had just made her move. Which meant it was Lena's turn. That night, another event. Bigger. More exclusive. More important. And this time, both of them showed up. The room froze. Whispers exploded instantly. "It's both of them." "No way. This is insane." Vanessa walked in first, confident as ever, owning the room. Then, Lena entered. Quiet.
Calm.
Unshaken. And suddenly, the energy shifted. Because now, there was no hiding. No guessing. Just truth waiting to be revealed. Vanessa stepped forward. "Well," she said, smiling tightly, "this should be interesting." Lena stopped a few steps away. "Yeah," she said softly. "It should." "Let's not waste time," Vanessa continued. "You've had your fun. This isn't fun." "Then what is it?" Lena looked around the room, at the people watching, listening, waiting. "It's the truth." Vanessa laughed lightly. "Then say it." A pause. Then Lena spoke. "You're not the heiress." Gasps filled the room. Vanessa's smile didn't drop, but her eyes sharpened. "And you are?" Lena held her gaze. "Yes." Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then Vanessa stepped closer.
Prove it.
"Prove it." And for the first time, Lena reached into her bag. Slowly, carefully, pulled out a document.
Old.
Stamped.
Sealed.
"I was waiting for this moment," she said. Vanessa's confidence flickered. Just slightly. "What is that?" she asked. Lena's voice stayed calm. "Everything." And this is where the story truly turns. Because sometimes, the loudest person in the room isn't the strongest. And sometimes, the quiet one already knows how it ends. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Because what do you think? Who is the real heiress? And who has been lying all along?